Oh, hi.
Oh hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video of The Crappy Show on the Internet. I'm your host, Dead Man Walking, on Reddit by the username of Release Something, aka leak, mind you, of a certain script, of a certain Star Wars movie script, that basically is a leak, if you didn't know that. I'm saying dumb crap. I got the entire script right here and I'm gonna read it to you, alright? So, okay. Spoilers, this may or may not be the entire Rise of Skywalker movie. By the way, if you want to read it for yourself, I put the link in the description. I also put the entire script in the description. The film began with Kylo's slaughter of the natives in the red-lit woods to get Vader's Wayfinder. He hooks up the Wayfinder to Kylo's TIE fighter to allow him to, know where he needs to go to Exegol. Kylo flies through the red nebula like a section of space to get to Exegol, seen in recent TV spots with Resistance ships later in the movie. Once on Exegol, Kylo apparently wanders into what it looks like a science lab, and Palpatine's voice can be heard claiming he made Snoke, and he's been orchestrating everything from the shadows. With regards to Palpatine's initial appearance, flashes of lightning reveal Palpatine's face with white eyes attached to his back. Palpatine apparently discusses creating a large armada at this point in the film, and orders Kylo to locate Rey. Kylo takes it as, locate Rey and kill her, and Palpatine warns him she is not what you think she is. Okay, cool, thank you. The film then cuts to the ice asteroid base sequence, when we first snap to Poe, Finn, and Chewie on the Falcon. They're all playing the hollow chess 2-on-1. They insinuate that Chewie's chest, and he gets a bit, mad, but Poe makes a comment about how it's obvious that he's better than him because he's so much older. When Chewie goes to check something, they lie to him saying, the chest won't turn back on because they're losing against Chewie. Chewie is, really good at the game. And they lied because, they're losing. Informant scene has the Falcon hovering while the contact tosses them a satchel with all the background information. Poe and Finn pry the contact to get the ball's name, but he won't budge. During Rey's training, on the jungle base, the person does not recall any training to communicate with the past Jedi. Just that Rey gets very frustrated a bit too careless with her lightsaber, causing trees to fall and one to damage BB-8. BB-8 is now damaged because Rey swung a lightsaber at a tree. Rey, Finn, and Poe reconnect when the Falcon lands on the jungle base, when we see members of the Resistance running to put out a fire, and we see that it's coming from the Millennium Falcon. A damaged Incure as a result of the light speed skipping. The Millennium Falcon is now on fire. The combined forces of Palpatine and the First Order are apparently called out as the Final Order. So the Empire plus the First Order, they're now called the Final Order. What a dumb name to call something. Who is that? It's not the First Order. It's not the Empire. It's the Final Order. Luke was apparently searching for Exegol, but was unable to obtain the Wayfinder to get there. This source says that Rose, with a little bit more background information, Rose has, apparently to this, Rose just says a bunch of one-liners like, let's get him. That's a quote. She says, let's get these guys. Hell yeah. Following the meeting where Kylo discusses the First Order spy to a room of officers, he immediately says Hux's name, but seemingly changes the subject. The person also believes that this meeting is the first time we meet Pride, Palpatine during the days of the Empire. Oh, sorry. Skip that. During the movie, he mentions serving Palpatine during the days of the Empire. During Kylo and Rey's Force bond on Pasaana, as soon as she snaps out of it, Rey draws attention to some stormtroopers who immediately recognize them, but are swiftly handled by locals, while the hero team is whisked away by who would be eventually revealed as Lando Calrissian. During the Pasaana speeder chase, When the last trooper is dispatched, he hits the speeder the heroes are on, flinging everyone into quicksand. During this, Finn shouts, "Rey!" Because that's literally what Finn does. He just says, "Rey!" And that's it, thinking that they're going to die. That he has something to tell her, but they all get sucked down too quickly. They all got down the quicksand. While looking for an exit, they encounter the sandworm. A sandworm. Apparently there isn't a battle between the sandworm. It's just there, apparently. Dio, the new droid named Dio, is found on Orchi's ship and is eventually extremely timid. He's a timid robot. Okay. Apparently he belonged to Orchi and was abused pretty bad. Okay, we have an abused droid here named Dio. Got it. Well, BB-8 finds and reboots him. They say that Chewbacca's capture happens a little differently than previously described. He wanders off, and the next you know, either troopers capture him, or the Knights of Ren capture Chewbacca the most stupidest way possible. Do you want to know how? He wanders off. Finn goes to locate Chewie and sees him, in cuffs being boarded onto a transport, and then he reports back to Poe. Rey slices Kylo's ring off during the flip, and he crashes. Zori's entrance is apparently extremely hostile as she threatens Poe repeatedly, mentions the price of Final Order's head on him that would recruit it all. I don't know, this English is dumb. During the hack sequence, C-3PO apparently takes shots at R2 when they mention his memory wipe could be restored by him. C-3PO has zero confidence in R2's memory banks. After C-3PO's memory is wiped, he blurts out a deep voice in translation of the Sith dagger, then reboots. He doesn't turn into a battle droid. What he does is becomes the Sith dagger. Zuri and Poe reminisce, and she tells him about the medallion. Some medallion or some. When Rey grabs the dagger in Kylo's quarters on his Star Destroyer, she sees Orchi attacking her parents. They apparently left her on Jakku when ran and are later killed in what appears to be a city setting, not on Jakku, according to this person. They're apparently killed because they won't reveal where Rey is. It's not revealed until near the end of the film that Orchi was not sent to kill, but to retrieve Rey. After Hux rescues the heroes on the Star Destroyer, he tells Poe to shoot him in the arm, but Poe shoots him in the leg instead. When asked why he's helping them, Hux replies he doesn't care if the First Order wins, he just wants Kylo to lose. He's killed by pride, when he reports that incident. With regards to the location of the Death Star wreckage, it is called out as Endor, not the Forest Moon, though it still seems a bit debatable. We see Ewoks looking skyward during the planetary celebration, but not during the Endor sequence. On Endor, Jana, her cohorts explained that they were First Order troopers who mutinied during a battle, so Finn is not the only stormtrooper that went rogue. Rey isn't provided the water skiff she uses to reach the Death Star wreckage, but she takes it and find her attempting to sail off to the wreckage, even though they told her to wait until dark because the tides are down. So she just went. She didn't even wait for the tides to go down. She just went. The source claims that Rey actually interacts with a dark vision of herself. The dark side version of Rey. So apparently, dark side Rey beats the crap out of Rey, saying this is where you could have become. If you went to the dark side, she snaps back to reality. And there goes Natalie. This person is under the impression that it may be Leia who snaps Rey out of the dark vision. They claim that right after the moment we skip to her weakened being led out of the command room back at the base, and someone comments on he'll take everything she has left to reach her son. During Kylo and Rey's duel on the Death Star wreckage, Rey is angrily fighting Kylo. We see her even force push Rey and Jana out of the zone. It says that Leia's final word is Ben, which catches Kylo's attention and is what distracts him long enough for Rey to stab him through the abdomen and then heals him. Rey stabs Kylo, then immediately heals him. Okay, that happened. After Kylo was stabbed, Han shows up out of nowhere, but not as a Force ghost. Han shows up, but not as a Force ghost. Okay. It's as if he was standing there alive again. He gives Kylo some words of encouragement, and then their conversation very closely mirrors Han's death scene in The Force Awakens, including the "I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it" line. He even holds the lightsaber in the exact same spot, but he turns it and throws it in the water wreckage of the Death Star. When Luke catches the lightsaber that Rey throws into the wreckage tie she used to get the Acha-2. These words are weird. Luke apparently says something about how something like this shouldn't be discarded. What is going on? Apparently there's a droid projection that shows Leia being trained by Luke. She's sparring with Luke, but he mentions she stops and quits being a Jedi because she had a vision of her son's fall to the dark side and death. Well, what do you know? Confirms that both Luke and Leia know Rey is a Palpatine, yet chose to train her anyway. Oh, so they already knew that Rey was a Palpatine, but didn't tell her. Okay. She actually does transmit the path to Exegol to the Resistance. There's initial confusion as they're receiving a transmission from Red 5. Doesn't have sufficient data to actually get there. Apparently Finn discovers that Dio knows the way. Porgs are back. Porgs are back. Porgs return. Palpatine apparently speaks about the bond they share and how extremely powerful and rare it is for it to occur. He then sucks their life to restore his, and we see his white eyes turned the yellow-orange Sith style. The person was very disappointed by the Sith troopers, stating that they were no better than average stormtroopers from the original trilogy. So, apparently the Sith troopers are worse than... They're literally the same as original trilogy stormtroopers. We see an absolutely massive amount of ships directly above the fleet approaching quickly, filled with new resolve. Finn and Janna make a suicide attempt at opening a hatch to toss grenades into, destroying the signal transmitter. They succeed. Palpatine sees the arrival of the reinforcements and begins to laugh. He then lightning storms a good. Palpatine then force lightnings the crap out of all the ships. Apparently, Palpatine does force push Ben into a ravine, claim that he is the last of the Skywalker line. Rey hears the voices such as Yoda, Luke, Leia, Mace Windu, and others who give her the strength to stand up. Palpatine tries to lightning her, but she blocks it with one of the lightsabers, but it seemingly stalemates them. She finds the strength to pull the other saber to her, making an X formation, and this allows her to deflect the lightning back toward him. Palpatine apparently disintegrates and explodes, causing the arena to crumble. That's right, folks. This is how Palpatine dies. A deflection. A deflection kills Palpatine. Fucking... Palpatine does force lightning, Rey blocks it, deflects it right at him, dead. That's the final battle we got? That's the final battle? My goodness gracious, man. Friggin' Palpatine gets bitched by his own lightning. But also, oh yeah, I forgot. It also kills Rey. Rey is also dead. Ben apparently climbs out of the pit, finding a dead Rey, and decides to give his life to her. He uses the healing trick to save Rey, but draining his life force in the process. Then there's a weird fanfic moment where they kiss. Kylo kisses Rey, or Rey kisses Kylo. Yeah, then Kylo dies. Lando goes back for Jaina and Finn, who are on the Death Star, which is falling out of the air. Babu Frick is also seen in Zori's ship. Poe's skill in piloting is being matched by Zori's throughout the fight. During the post-victory celebration, everyone is catching up with each other, kissing and celebrating. This leads you to see Chewie, who hears Maz call to him. You think she's going to ask for a kiss, but she says, "You deserve this," and hands him a large medal. Thanks. Just saved the galaxy. Instead of a nice blowjob, you give me a piece of steel. Thank you. After seeing everyone kissing, Poe apparently gives Zori a side nod, insinuating that they should head elsewhere for a bit, to which she shakes her helmet off. No. She shakes her helmet. No. The ending is described is also slightly different from what I had previously been told. Rey didn't disassemble Luke and Leia's lightsabers. She came to the moisture farm to bury them. She now has a black gray-handled lightsaber, which she ignites to show a yellow blade. She and BB are the only ones present until a woman appears asking for her name, to which she says Rey. Rey who? Then seeing Luke and Leia's ghosts in the distance, replies, Rey Skywalker, as she clearly sees them as the parents she never was able to have. Rey and BB look off at the setting twin suns and the movie ends. I can't recall, but I believe Dia was there too. Back to where it says that Rey Skywalker looked at the Force ghosts of Luke and Leia, saying that they were the parents that she never had. She literally met Luke once, right? And only talked to him for a total, I think, an hour, right? She only knew him for an hour, or not even 5 hours. Rey knew Luke for 5 hours and literally met Leia at the last scene of The Force Awakens. Now, how do you picture someone you just met for a total of, 10 hours totally, and now you think of them as your parents? I don't know how you think that, JJ. That is the dumbest thing I've ever, thought of. Ever. It's like, hey, I just met you. I know this is crazy, but you're my daddy. Is Anakin Skywalker in the movie? No. Is there an explanation of how Palpatine survived Return of the Jedi? Apparently it says he's just a corpse of Palpatine being possessed by Palpatine. And yes, Kylo does die from giving Rey a smooch. This is so stupid. Now, you can treat this as fact, or you can treat it as a rumor. But all we know is, we don't know all the answers until the movie comes out. This could all be BS. Really good BS. And with all these freaking, at Disney, and if the movie flops, do you know who they're gonna blame? Oh, the men hate it. Everyone's a racist. Everyone's a sexist for not liking the movie. When in reality, it's just a bad movie. Palpatine dies from a deflection. Rey comes back to life from a Disney-esque kiss. A Beauty and the Beast kiss.